why men don't approach you and don't say
All right, we got Willow Smith never saw this coming from men.
hi anymore.
By the time the mid 90s came around, your boy was trying to holler at females in the mall,
All
although
right, Clint.
unsuccessfully. Sometimes I got numbers, usually they was wrong, but hey, I still lived for another day. Going out to the clubs, going out to the Alpha Zone or to the Rage, clubs in Sacramento, that's how I was trying to get it in. And of course, women were not always
All right, Twin, I feel you. I feel you.
receptive to you. Women were mean, even back then. And that is still the same case now for guys who have stopped approaching women.
It's not that men are scared to approach women. Like, men aren't scared. Like, men aren't approaching women no more because a lot of women are very unfriendly, are very unwelcoming. A lot of women are very rude, very disrespectful, very mean. Literally just because you're a man. Fine or not fine, it does not make a difference, I promise you. Um, some women will literally treat you like you are beneath them. They will be very egotistical and treat you like you are less than them.
Now, this young man is saying something that a lot of men are thinking. Women are just too mean or too rude or basically act like you're doing them a favor by coming up to them. Guys were more willing to overcome rejection in my time, but like I said, now you have Facebook dating, Tinder, other kind of apps. So men these days have alternative options. And so now women are concerned.
There's a TikToker guy that explained it in a different sense. He's a tall, strong black man. He was saying that he doesn't go up to women anymore because women, we are typically concerned about our safety. We don't want to be approached because we don't really know what you want. Just all in all, we're on a defense because we don't know if it's a threat or not. There's so much going on in the world. And so for that perspective, I kind of get it.
This young lady says she understands why men don't want to approach women. But then she turns around and says this.
I still think the attempt should be out there, and perhaps men can do a better job at showing themselves to be safe, being more mindful of how they're approaching the certain language that they use. But ultimately, I don't know exactly how that feels to do something like that because I'm not a black man. As a black woman, it kind of sucks because it's like, yeah, we want y'all to approach us though, and we want to be safe.
Wait a minute.
Want to be safe? Who are you dealing with here, lady?
You want men to approach you while trying to be safe and trying to figure out how to do it? It's just too much work in today's age. And this is the dilemma. Women want men to approach them, but then at the same time, deal with women being caught off guard. And for a lot of men, this is like a gray area in which they just don't want to deal with. But this is not just regular women that have these problems. It's superstars that have these problems. Fast forward. Willow Smith has turned out to be a real cutie. I'm not gonna lie. If you look at her in this B-roll, this lady is fine. I remember when she was like a little tomboy, but the way she's looking here at the Dior fashion show in Paris, this lady is bomb. I'm talking about Willow Smith is a baddie on my mama.
He's right, you know.
And when you look at Willow Smith, she has all the opportunities. Like, she's beautiful, she's rich, she can date white men, black men, she's polyamorous, she can date men or women. But it's interesting, despite having all of these connections, being open to any race and being extremely liberal, she has this problem.
The older I get, the more I realize that an ascetic lifestyle, aside from being one of the most potent ways to devote your life to honoring the holy mystery, it really just is logical. Like, participate in this tomfoolery? I think not.
Now, Willow Smith is saying that, hey, people don't ask her for dates anymore, or in general. And this is interesting because Willow Smith dates both men and women, so you're still not getting a date.
Dang. That's crazy.
But it's interesting because she should have all kind of access. I mean, look at her. She is very, very beautiful, very attractive. And she's still going through these issues. But what are those issues that women like Willow Smith could be facing?
The first reason is that if you are successful and accomplished, and when you're out and about, you're going somewhere, your energy can say to those around you, don't stop me, don't approach me, I'm a speeding bullet and I have somewhere to go. So it's simply not as easy for someone to gain your attention when you're in go mode.
Now, this lady is saying one of the reasons that a lot of successful women that are beautiful,
Yeah, I understand it. Like they're independent, I guess.
that they face is that you're always on the go, right? And I know that some women use it as a defense mechanism, but I never thought about it like that, but that's actually true. Any guy, have you ever seen you trying to talk to a female and she's walking hella fast, then you try to go talk to her and then all of a sudden she's gone, she hit the block or something, you never see her again, or she just look like she's just too busy.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So that's why you just don't do it at all. Wise words from True Prime AJ.
So if you were to catch up to her, you kind of got like run hella fast, you kind of winded, you look like a stalker, and the risk is just not worth that reward at that point. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of how it is.
Risk it for the
you don't even
biscuit.
want to waste your time trying to catch up to her. You just like, nah, I just charge to the game. And this is what happens, I guess, if you're women like Willow Smith. You're busy, you got things to do, you're always kind of on the go. And don't get me wrong, man, like if I saw Willow Smith the way she look now, I'm not talking about like what she looked like 3 or 4 years ago, or like when she was like, now she is, yes. You know what I mean? If I was a young dude and I saw her, yes, no doubt about it, she is bad, okay? Yeah, I would say something to her. But if she moving hella fast, I'm not about to run my ass up there and try to get by, because I look like a creep, right? But what else?
And the second reason is that some men are afraid to approach you. Not because of anything that you've done, but because we live in a society and in an era where men have learned
When you're getting punished for trying, people are capitalizing off of your efforts.
that it is not necessarily safe to approach strange women. We've gone through the entire COVID epidemic and the pandemic. We went through the Me Too experience. And so there are many men who want to get to know you, who want to approach you, and who want to say hi to you, but they aren't sure that you'll be receptive to them.
This serves the other point that the brother was saying. It's just difficult for, a man feeling like he's about to get rejected. So why would he talk to you? Why would he try to get your number and all of this? Okay? We've already talked about this point, which a lot of men are just don't want to deal with rejection or are afraid of rejection. Okay? But then here is something that we got to talk about.
The older I get, the more I realize that an ascetic lifestyle, aside from being one of the most potent ways to devote your life to honoring the holy mystery, it really just is logical. Like, participate in this tomfoolery? I think not.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass
It sounds like she's trying to speak in a riddle to me. Like I can't fully understand it.
down. Who the think you is?
Okay. Willow Smith said a whole bunch of nothing, right? Not making sense. Let me just say this, ladies. It's one thing to be fine. It's one thing to be beautiful. But if you're not relatable, nobody can deal with you. All right? And this is what I find out. A lot of women that have a hard time attracting men, either you don't talk enough in the conversation, so it's hard for us to build rapport. It's hard for us to laugh or joke because you're just not really saying much or you're not replying much. Maybe you don't like the guy, or maybe that's just your personality. But then when you're saying something, it doesn't make any damn sense at all. So we look at you and classify you as being just completely weird. And again, I don't know if women think that they can turn men off, but you can. If you're so far out there that we can't vibe with you, especially if the dude is successful, he gonna think about like, yo man, shorty is weird as F. Like, what's going on with her? She talking about extraterrestrial stuff. Like, I don't know what she's talking about. Like, I don't even want to really clap because we can't. She's just, you know what I mean? She's just really weird and she's just not relatable. Being relatable as a woman is actually one of your biggest gifts. Don't get me wrong, man. Like, men, we like to talk to women. We
It's the
like to
comfort.
hang out with women non-sexually, even if we are clapping,
It's the comfort that matters sometimes.
right? We do like that. So most of relationships are spent outside of the bedroom. So if you're a woman that a man can't relate to, you might be able to get a date, but if you start talking weird on the first date or second date, and the guy has options, nobody wants to get past your weirdness, okay? Especially if you're a woman being unorthodox. It's one thing that a man has to put a lot of pressure in getting to know you, but if you're like weird, then that makes it worse. Especially if you're not really putting in the effort to get to know this guy, or you have weird, liberal ideology or something that's just so far-fetched. You already live a polyamorous lifestyle. So that's one thing. I mean, it could be good or bad, but it's already difficult to try to resonate with you because you're just so different. All right. But if you are a lady and you're trying to get a man, what can you do?
The next time that you see an attractive man that you want to approach you, that you want to speak to, you say hi first. It sends a signal that it's safe to approach you. It lets him.
It's that easy. Like life would be a whole lot easier if people thought like her right there. I'm just
know that
telling
you're
you.
willing to slow down on your route for him, and it can break up some of the awkwardness or even some of the so-called intimidation that we think men feel when they see powerful women.
I really like this part from the lady. She said, listen, if you really want to be with a man, why don't you give choosing signals? Why don't you slow down? If you see a man is looking at you, trying to get your attention, why don't you do this? Let's just talk about this. Some women do give men choosing signals. Men sometimes miss them because they're shy or they don't have enough experience, and I understand that too. But what is wrong with you saying hi? Like, hey, how are you? Like, what's wrong with you breaking the ice? I mean, if I see a lady that I want to be with and she is attractive, yeah, I'm going to do my very best to break that ice if I can, because that's what I'm trying to do, right? Like, and women got to understand that what's going on in society today, men have been tamed a little bit, okay? Like, let me give you an example. Fast forward. I live in a housing development, and my neighbor across the hall has a cat. And the cat,
Okay.
just would run into my house, all right? So I had a sandal. I would just threaten to hit the cat with the sandal. It would keep running. And over time, what it did, it just stopped trying to come into the house, okay? So it would stay by the door, but it would never come back in the house for fear I was going to flinch the sandal and hit him, right? It's actually a girl, hit her. So what happens is now the cat wants to come into my house, but it's cautious. And so it's the same thing with some of these men. They want to talk to you, but they don't want to be made fun of, get hit with a Me Too thing or all of this. So what needs to happen at this particular point is that, hey, you have guys that are interested, but you're going to have to make a little bit of effort now, because those men may want to talk to you and may want to do something with you. But if you don't foster that environment for that man to say something to you, it could not happen. I mean, this is now 2025. It's not 2005. It's not 1995. Men are very okay with seeing a woman that's very, very beautiful, that's looking very good, and be like, nah, I'll let her go. She was going to be expensive anyway. She was going to be terrible anyway, and just kind of leave it at that and just go away. Now, some women will sit around and say, well, you know what? I don't feel like I need to go ahead and say something to a man. He should say something to me. And I get it. But sometimes you have to foster that environment for a man to know that it's okay. And this is why a lot of guys talk about choosing signals. If a woman wants to talk to you, because so many men are not okay with cold approaching. I'm okay with cold approaching, but so many men are not. And with cold approaching, you may not know if the woman is
Bro, that cold approaching is not for the weak. It'll have you feeling down for a week or 3.
interested. you know, if she has a resting bee face or whatever, and if she's gonna let you overcome an objection. You just don't know. And a lot of times you can get a chick who she looks like she's not interested, and you get a number and she is interested because you did go ahead and say something. But you know, hey, guys are going to be a little bit more timid in today's environment because they have been trained to not lean on their masculine energy, because it's now called toxic masculinity. So you're going to need to go out there and make that situation for you. And if you're Willow Smith,
I guess you just start putting up shots relentlessly. Anything.
and you're open to anything, like, why don't you just talk? Tell somebody hello. And if you do tell somebody hello, I'm almost sure that
They will capitalize on it. Let's just say that.
somebody is going to be like, hello back. Like, what you look like as fine as Willow Smith is now, yes. Most dudes that got money or whatever, like, look, they're going to want to holler. She might not have, like, a big old gigantic, you know what, booty, whatever, but she is a very beautiful young lady. You can't tell me that dudes wouldn't want to deal with her. Now, again, she is what I would consider to be very unorthodox, but man, that don't mean nothing, man. Like, dudes are going to holler. It is what it is. So guys, what do you think you should O'Shea do, Jackson?
Anyway, that was an interesting video. Like, comment, subscribe, and we out.
Right now.